Magandang hapon sa lahat. Paano nga ba natin sinusulat ang background of the study? Kailan nga ba natin siya sinusulat at para saan nga ba siya? Ngayong araw na ito mga bagay na pag-uusapan natin. Writing the background of the study, yung tinatawag nating BOTS or BOTS. Ano nga ba ang background of the study? The background of the study sets the general feel of the research study. Pag sinabing general feel, ano ba ang tema ng pag-aaral na ginagawa mo? Ano ba ang dapat na maramdaman ng mga bumabasa o magbabasa ng iyong investigation o yan ang inyong research? Mahalaga ang background of the study kasi dito pa lang nakikita na kung meron bang saysay, kung meron bang significance, or kung meron bang kakaibang estilo yung isang researcher sa paglalahad ng mga idea niya. Always remember that research is an exercise of logic. At pag sinabing logic, ito po yung tinatawag na manner of correct thinking. So, kung tama ang proseso ng pag-iisip ng isang researcher, makakasulat dapat siya ng isang organisado, malinaw, straight to the point, at informative na background of the study. So it reveals a preview of different parts or areas of the investigation to give a sneak peek of things to be processed by the study. Pag sinabing sneak peek, hindi naman kailangan na ang nasa background of the study mo ay napakadetalyado na hindi mo na kailangan basahin o ang isang mambabasa ay hindi na kailangan basahin ang iba pang parte ng iyong research. Remember, the background of the study is like a teaser trailer to a movie. Isipin nyo, manonoodin nyo pa ba yung Marvel's Eternals? Kung pinakita na lahat sa trailer pa lang kung ano mangyayari? Siyempre, hindi na. Kasi hindi na yan interesting. Dapat ang iyong background study ay makakakiliti o makakapagpaikot ng imahinasyon ng mga possible readers ng iyong investigation. Background study is not necessarily long and verbose. However, it should be informative, organized, and interesting. Hindi naman kailangan na napakahaba niyan. Hindi rin kailangan na gumamit ka ng mga salitang kailangan mo pa ng diksyonaryo para maintindihan. Ang kailangan lang dito ay maging informative o kailangan lang ay maiparating mo ang gusto mong iparating. It should be organized na hindi mahihilo o malilito yung nagbabasa kung ano ba talaga ang tinutukay mo. At syempre, it should be interesting. Interesting on the viewpoint of research. Hindi ibig sabihin na kailangan lagyan mo dito ng mga pop culture references. Hindi rin kailangan dito ay meron kang mga adlibs and words that are not formal or informal ang use ng language. Pwede pa rin maging interesting ng isang background study even without those things. Organization guide for writing the BOTS or the background of the study. Always remember na isa sa mga pinakamagagandang qualities ng isang background of the study is organization. Kapag hindi organized ang background of the study mo, it shows how disorganized your mental logic is. So kung hindi logical ang pagkakagawa ng iyong background of the study, ibig sabihin hindi rin logical ang pagkakabuo ng buong research mo, which gives a very bad impression of things to come. Remember, pag pangit ang trailer, mas malamang pangit ang pelikula. Kasi kung sa trailer pa lang ay hindi ka na nagandahan, bakit mo pa itutuloy na basahin ang isang research? Okay? So to organize the background of the study, you have to first preview the following and represent it as a separate paragraph. Again, this is not the only way to make a background of the study. Ang mga mas magagaling na researcher ay kayang gumawa ng background of the study without any framework or without any idea organization guide. However, I am talking to newbie researchers like you. Kayong mga nasa senior high school na magsisimula pa lang na gumawa ng research. Even college people na masyadong nagtuon ng pansin sa ibang bagay nung senior high school. Kaya ngayon ay medyo hindi kagandahan ang kaalaman ninyo sa research. Or mga minalas na ang research teacher nyo ay nag-aaral pa rin lang magturo ng research. Okay? So, as you go along your journey in research, kapag nakakaraming research na kayo, pagaling na kayo gumawa, you don't have to necessarily follow an idea organization guide kasi it would come naturally na kaya nyo nang magsulat without an organization guide. But right now, since you are just starting out with your research or being a researcher, that is, then it's very helpful na meron kang study guide or meron ka tinatawag na idea organization guide. Okay? So we can actually have a background study in only 5 paragraphs. Opo, hindi kailangan mahaba. 5 paragraph lang, makakapuno na yan ng 2 pahina ng inyong research, and I think that's long enough. Pag masyadong mahaba yung trailer, di parang pelikula na rin yun. Okay? So, meron tayong 5 parte na kailangan din nating pagtuunan ng pansin. First one, current situation or issues that influence your choice of research topic. Ito yung unang paragraph mo. Papaliwanag mo dito kung bakit ito ang napili mong topic. Anong mga naka-impluensya sa'yo. At syempre, yung naka-impluensya dapat sa'yo ay dapat nakaangkla sa mga pangyayari sa paligiran mo sa pangkasalukuyan. Second, related literature, articles, and studies that directly supports and or foundational to your present study. Syempre, dahil ikaw ay isang researcher, dapat, sabi nga ni Google Scholar, you have to stand on the shoulder of giants. Pag sinabing standing on the shoulder of giants, gamitin mo yung mga ibang researcher na nagawa na ng mga doktor, ng mga psychologists, at ng iba pang mga experts sa field ng research mo bilang jump board or bilang springboard nang sa ganon ma-launch ng maayos ang iyong sariling investigation. Kaya importante na magbanggit ka ng mga related literature. At importante rin na marunong ka mag-cite ng literature. Depende yan kung anong format ang pinapagamit ng university, eskwelahan, o ng research teacher mo. Marami yan. You have Modern Language Association, you have Council of Science Editors, you have the Chicago Style Manual, and of course, ang pinaka-ubiquitous, pag sinabing ubiquitous, ang pinaka-laging ginagamit, is the APA, or the American Psychological Association. Okay? There will be videos regarding this, and there will be uploads regarding this, pero sa ngayon, gagamitin natin for the examples that we're going to have would be the APA, the American Psychological Association. Since I've said it before, it's the most ubiquitous. Pag sinabing ubiquitous, ito yung lagi nakikita or madalas na ginagamit natin. Okay, third. The third paragraph should be a restatement of the statement of the problem. Ang daming statement na, no? Restatement of the statement. Well, it's general objectives and or the statement of the problem. You don't have to write all your research questions, but you have to write the summary, the brief discussion of your research idea. What are you researching about and why are you researching about it? Okay? And then number 4, you have to also preview your methodology. Again, you don't have to go into the details, but at least give them the bare essentials. Say bare essentials, just enough that they will be interested in reading the entire chapter 4, which is the methodology. Kumbaga, patikimin mo sila ng masarap-sarap. Ano yan eh? Parang sa pulutan yan. 'Di ba? Pag namumulutan kayo sa inuman, kakain ka ng konti o titikman mo yung pulutan. Pag nasarapan ka, hihingi ka na ng kanin at kakain ka na habang nagiinuman ka. Okay? Bago kasi pain ang tropa mo. Kasi hindi ka naman dito pumunta para uminom. Pumunta ka pala para mananghalian o para maghapunan. Okay? Pero ganun talaga, 'di ba? Pag masarap, uulit-ulitin mo. Pag masarap, idedire-diretso mo. Okay? So, significance of the study tayo. Number 5. The fifth paragraph is, of course, the benefits that you can derive from your investigation. Kasi kung wala naman palang saysay, walang silbi, at wala naman palang buting makukuha mula sa investigation mo, why bother doing it? Huwag mo na lang gawin. 'Di ba? So, kailangan, ididiin mo dun sa pinakahulihan ng background study mo na eto yung mga benefits that you could reap, benefits that you can derive from the investigation that I am going. Okay? All 5 of this, from number 1 to number 5, this is the reason why, okay, you write your background of the study after completing chapters 1 to 3 of the research proposal. May mga estudyante yung nagtanong sa akin dati, Sir, bakit pa nagdi-discuss tayo ng chapter 1, hindi mo pinapasulat yung background of the study? Bakit nilalagpasan natin yan? Bakit pagkatapos ng title, ang pinapagawa mo sa amin ay research questions, agad-agad? then you follow it up with scope and delimitations, then you follow it up with significance of the study. Tapos chapter 2 na tayo, review of related literature. Tapos chapter 3 na tayo, methodology. Bakit hindi mo pinapagawa sa amin yung background of the study? Eh yun yung nasa unahan ng research namin. Well, this is the answer. Okay, you cannot write the background of the study at the start of your research manuscript simply because wala ka pa ng number 1 to 5 na yan. Saan mo ibabase yan? Mahirap magsulat nang walang pinagbabasihan. At kapag sinabi ng research teacher nyo sa inyo, o sige, gumawa ka na ng background of the study, may title ka na, gawa ka na ng background of the study. Tandaan niyo sa research manuscript, nauuna pa yung background of the study bago yung research question. So yung tinatawag na statement of the problem. How can you do it? Okay, that's the problem with most research teachers. You are asking students to do something without any foundational knowledge regarding it. Akala nyo kasi, kayang gawin ng estudyante yan nang walang pinagbabasihan. Kaya ako, ang ginagawa ko, sulat nyo muna yung chapter 1, puwera ang background of the study, sulat nyo yung chapter 2, tapos sulat nyo yung chapter 3. Pag meron na kayong chapter 1, 2, and 3, di ba napakadali nang gumawa ng background of the study? Why? Kasi yung number 1 mo, isipin mo lang yan. Yung number 2 mo, kukunin mo sa chapter 2. Yung number 3 mo, kukunin mo sa statement of the problem. Yung number 4 mo, isa-summarize mo lang yung chapter 4. And then yung significance of the study, nagawa mo na rin yan nung tayo ay gumawa ng chapter 1 ng iyong research. So, meaning to say, you are just going to get the crumbs. Kukunin mo lang yung mga pira-piraso dun sa mga nagawa mo na beforehand. Pag sasama-samahin mo sila, you're going to let them marry each other pag aasa-asawahin mo yung idea para makagawa ng background of the study. So I'm telling you, students, and I'm telling you also, teachers, kapag sa estudyante, pinagawa kayo ng research teacher nyo ng background of the study without completing chapters 1 to 3 first, that's a red flag. Pag sinabing red flag, that's already a warning. Dalawang bagay lang yan. Number 1, the teacher is torturing you. Okay, number 2, the teacher doesn't know what he or she is doing. So kung hindi niya alam kung anong ginagawa niya, paano kayo matututo mula sa kanya? Think about that. Okay, ngayon, pupuntahan natin ang actual examples ng paggawa ng mga ito. Okay, I have here a title. Gawa-gawa ko lang ito. Okay, just for the sake of our discussion for today. So it says here, parenting styles as correlates to mathematics anxiety and academic performance among grade 7 students of ng High School Marikina for the school year 2021-2022. Okay, is it a good title? I think so. Okay, why? Because all the elements of a title, of a functional title, are here. You have the variables, parenting style, mathematics anxiety, academic performance. You have here the respondents, which will be the grade 7 students of Nangka High School. You even have the time frame, which is school year 2021 and 2022. So as far as title goes, it's a functional title. Okay, let's go do the first paragraph. Remember, for our background of the study, the first paragraph would always be the current situation or issues that influenced your choice of research topic. Okay, so if you're going to read this out, let me read it out for you. Parents are now the learning coaches that guide and facilitate learning at home due to pandemic health constraints leading to distant education. As such, parenting styles play a major role in affecting the levels of mathematics anxiety that the student feels whenever their parents guide them in their academic tasks. Aggressive parents might possibly exert a lot of pressure on their child to achieve mathematically, leading to an increase in the student's math anxiety. On the other hand, passive parents might possibly tolerate their child's shortcomings in mathematics, which inevitably leads to stagnation and loss of motivation to achieve. Either way, the effect of parenting styles to the mathematics anxiety would transcend to their academic performance in mathematics. So as you can see, that's the current situation. Students are now at home. No one is at school. Okay? So who are the ones guiding the students? It's not always the teacher. The teacher is away from them. It's actually the parents. Okay? And since parents have different parenting styles, yung ibang magulang ay mahigpit sa anak, maaring magkaroon ng anxiety yung anak, lalo na sa mga technical subject like mathematics. Ang bobo-bobo mo, hindi ka makaano sa math, ang dali lang yan, blah, 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 and blah. Okay, so of course, that would be affecting the students' Okay, either elevating their anxiety in mathematics and of course, inevitably, transposing that into their academic performance. Okay, so I just painted the picture of what's going on. That's the first paragraph of your background of the study. Paint a picture of what's going on. The current situation, the issues that influence your choice of research topic. Okay? After that, you go to the second paragraph, easy as a pie. Okay? You go to related literature, articles, and studies that directly supports and or foundational to your present study. What are you going to do here? You go to your chapter 2, methodology. Okay, you go through your bibliocards in the related literature. Okay, and then you find at least 5. Okay, that's a maximum already. Huwag masyadong mahaba kasi one paragraph lang to, remember. Okay, you choose 5 na talagang pinakamalapit sa puso ng research mo and then you cite them. Okay, you discuss them here. Okay, just like this. Studies on mathematics anxiety. I think I don't have to read all of this already, but as you can see, all the citations here are what you call formatted in APA, American Psychological Association. In layman's term, this is called the name date citation, whereas you have the names of the people who did the research, and then you have the date when they conducted the research. Again, there is a video lecture okay, regarding this solely for citation purposes. Okay, but that will not be today because our focus is the background of the study. So again, these are related literature, articles, and studies that directly supports and or foundational to your present study. Okay, one tip that I can give you here is never ever fall into the trap of making a bulleted presentation. Do not make bullets. You have to make a paragraph. And remember, a paragraph should have a cohesive thought. Pag sinabing cohesive thought, kailangan may kwento, kailangan ay buo yung idea, merong isang main idea, 'di ba? Tinuro na sa atin 'yan nung grade 3 tayo na ito ang main idea, kailangan para masabing isang paragraph 'yan. Okay, so dapat may pagkakaugnay-ugnay pa rin ito. Okay? And how do you make sure na ugnay-ugnay yan? Gagamit ka ng mga linker. Like for example, on the other hand, similarly, likewise, okay, things like that. You can do that. Okay? Next up, meron na tayong dalawang paragraph. Next up would be the third paragraph. General objectives and or statement of the problem. Do not put in the research questions here. You just have to state the main statement of the problem or the general goal of your research. So as you can see, previous investigations may have cemented the link between mathematics anxieties of students to several constructs of their teacher parenting styles. Were also investigated to be contributory to the mathematics anxiety among learners. In a context where parental involvement in the educational process is set to maximum, and against the background of the global pandemic ushering in a new era of distant education, where parents now occupy the role of teachers in the learning process, parenting styles and its correlation to mathematics anxiety and academic performance warrants a renewed investigation. So ano lang ang pinakita mo dito? Sinabi mo lang dito in a very brief paragraph, napaka-ikiling paragraph nito. Sinabi mo lang na, oo, naimbestigahan na yung mathematic anxiety ng estudyante na nakalink yan sa mga teacher nila. Na pag magaling yung teacher mo, hindi ka masyadong kinakabahan sa math. Pero pag yung teacher mo magaling sa math pero hindi magaling magturo, lalo kang kakabahan. Tama? Okay. Pero hindi pa yan nalilink masyado sa parents. Kasi never naman na nangyari na yung mga parents ay nag-act exclusively as a teacher. Pero nangyari yan dahil sa pandemic ngayon na yung mga parents na ang talagang main teacher ng kanilang mga estudyante. So, kailangan siyang imbestigahan ulit. So, you just stated your main objective. Your main objective is to investigate if the parenting styles have an effect on the mathematics anxiety of the students. And of course, if the mathematics anxiety will be, if the parenting styles and its effects to mathematics anxiety would be reflected in the academic performance of the students. Okay? Nakakatatlong paragraph na tayo. Pang-apat na natin yan. For the fourth paragraph, methodology. Again, you don't have to give the details. You just have to give a preview. Sneak peek lang tayo. Okay, so look at this. Grade 7 students and their parents or guardians from Nangka High School in Marikina City enrolled for the distant learning modality for the school year 2021-2022 will be the respondents for the current investigation. Okay? You mentioned kung ano yung mga questionnaire na gagamitin nyo. So, dalawang questionnaire yung gagamitin dito, the SPQ or the Styles of Parenting questionnaire that will be administered to the parents. Then you have the Students Mathematics Anxiety Scale, the SMAS, that will be administered to the students. Okay, and then the academic performance, of course, that will be collected from the math teacher or siguro from the advisor. Okay, up to you, up to your research design and data gathering procedure. Okay, then you mention the statistical treatment that you're going to use. Okay, look at the last statement. The collected data will be statistically represented as mean and weighted mean before testing for significant effects and relationships using t-test and Pearson product moment correlation respectively. Okay? Siguro naman alam nyo na yung mga statistical treatment. Kasi kung kayo ay sinuwerte at nagkaroon kayo ng statistics teacher na itinuro sa inyo kung saan ginagamit ang mean, ang weighted mean, ang t-test at ang mga Pearson product and Spearman-Rho correlation test, mga definitive test sa statistics, napakaswerte ninyo. At kung hindi naman, ano ba baliktad ng swerte? Siguro kayo yun. Okay? Next, BOTS, fifth paragraph. The last paragraph, the significance of the study. O, di ba, tinuruan na kayong gumawa ng significance of the study ng research teacher nyo? Sana. Okay? Gagawin nyo, isa-summarize nyo lang yun. So, results of the proposed investigation would inevitably benefit the students, parents, and guardians. Parents and guardians will be more aware that their parenting style would elicit effects on the levels of academic anxiety among students that are learning from home during this pandemic. As such, parents and guardians must shift to more positive parenting styles that would attenuate mathematics anxiety among learners and elevate their performance on the subject. Schools and learning institutions can also possibly conduct symposiums and other strategies to guide parents and guardians in being significant and effective academic support for students enrolled in distant learning modalities. And you're done. Tapos na ang background of the study mo. Pagsasama-samahin mo lang yan. So this is the full background of the study now. That is part 1 in green. That is part 2 in blue. You have part 3 in yellow and part 4 in, I think this is orange. And then part 5 in lavender. Now, hindi ko sinasabi na pag nilagay niyo sa research manuscript nyo, kailangan multicolored yan. No. It's just for the sake of investigation. Siyempre, ikakopy nyo lang yan sa Microsoft Word. And then, pag kinopy nyo na yan sa Microsoft Word, makikita nyo ngayon yan. Okay? You can format it to whatever formatting that your university, your school, your research teacher requires. Kung Times New Roman ba yan, kung Tahoma ba yan, kung Courier New ba yan, kung justified ba yan, double space ba yan, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, hindi mahirap gumawa ng background of the study. It's actually very easy to do. Okay? It's just that, kailangan may foundation ka na. Kaya nga, wag mong papagawa ang background ko. Ikaw ay teacher at nakikinig ka at tinitiis mo ang pamabash ko sa'yo dahil magaling kang guro. Okay? Dapat, huwag mong pilitin yung estudyante na gumawa ng mga bagay-bagay na wala pang pundasyon. Okay? Kahit sa pagtatayo ng bahay, hindi ka makakagawa ng second floor kung wala ka munang first floor. At hindi ka makakagawa ng first floor kung hindi ka muna naghukay ng pundasyon mo. So maghukay muna kayo ng pundasyon. Gawin nyo muna yung chapter 1 without the background of the study. Gawin nyo muna yung chapter 2, the research, the related literature research, or the search for related literature, that is. And then gawin nyo muna yung chapter 3, which is the methodology. After all, proposal pa lang naman yung ginagawa natin. Okay? So, wag nyo gayahin yung mga kakilala kong teacher. Shoutout sa inyo. Okay? Comment na lang kayo sa ilalim kung kilala nyo sarili ninyo. Na you would ask students to write an abstract after crafting a title. What the? You cannot do that. Why? Because the abstract is the summary of the entire paper. How can you summarize the entire paper if there's no paper? They only have titles, and then you're asking them to make an abstract. Okay? Mas malala to, kasi abstract na yung pinapagawa. What's the difference between the abstract and the background of the study? The background of the study is just the summary of chapter 1, 2, and 3. Okay? In a nutshell. Sa madaling paliwanag. Summary yan ng chapter 1, 2, 3 halos. Okay? Or a preview, rather. Hindi pala summary. Preview, patikim ng chapter 1, 2, and 3. However, the abstract is the summary of the entire paper, including the results and the conclusions. And then you ask them to write that with only a title. Come on. Sabi nga ni Uncle Roger, hi! Okay, so see you again, mga ka-classroom. I hope that this video finds you well, and I hope that you learn something from it. Bye!